Welcome. Let me say a little bit more about waves. I'm especially interested in wave dynamics with discrete time. And the reason is maybe more philosophical, but it's an observation that if you take space discrete, for example, take a graph or a simplistic complex on which you evolve the wave equation, then you better also discretize time. And the reason is because what you want in a wave evolution, you don't want points far away to influence what happens at a point, or immediately at least. So there should be some causality. It should be, light should, need some time to travel from one point to another. But that's not the case if you look at the wave dynamics with Laplacian on a graph and you look at the UTT. If you take the time derivative, a continuous derivative, a limit, like in calculus, then you automatically don't have that. Even so, it's very close if you do experiments. So you want to discretize time, and I was obsessed with this since 30 years. So I started kind of at a time when I was interested in spectral properties of operators. You want to investigate numerically what happens you have, and then this is related with the evolution of a unitary operator, which is given by the Laplacian. This is very interesting in concrete cases. I wrote a paper about that, and in order to simulate this, I discretized time, and I wanted also a kind of like a cellular automaton evolution, and this works. It's just a simple observation that you can deform. It's a change of variables. You take the operator and you replace it with another operator so that the unitary becomes a polynomial. This is really great, and it works very, very well. Also, it's fast, and I will demonstrate this afterwards with a little experiment here. Especially I'm fond of billiards and polygon billiards, for example, and so you want to know, for example, what happens with the wave in the long term if you are in a regular pentagon, and we will look at that. It's a very, very interesting problem and completely open. So there are the regular triangle, regular square, or regular hexagon or octagon. They are kind of clear what happens, but in a pentagon is the smallest case where you don't really know what happens. And the wave evolution can be studied by looking at billiards, I'm doing that, or by evolving the wave equation. So that's kind of the Maupertuis principle, that the geodesic motion is related to the solutions of wave equations. We measure distances using waves, so it's very natural. By the way, waves and quantum dynamics, wave dynamics and quantum dynamics, that's the same. It's usually kind of not seen like this, but you can always write the wave equation. You can write it as a pair of Schrödinger equations or Dirac equations. Everything is linear, and so here I will make a demonstration what happens when you deform the operator so that you have a polynomial cellular automaton coupled map lattice, and then see what happens. And also here, this is just evolving, billiards, and you take a few 10,000 directions, and you start a billiard, and you see what happens with the wave front. I will make some experiments, show you some experiments also. Here, maybe I show it right now. I just made a little movie, and you see the wave evolve in that pentagon. But here we just compute the wave by computing the geodesics. Another thing I have done, especially for teaching purposes, is to go into the non-commutative. So it's also a very natural setup. If you look at this is actually, teachable in 1A, in a course like 1A, single variable calculus. I did this since 2011. And so it's very, very beautiful that you have a perfectly fine Taylor theorem. You have all the calculus can be deformed into this non-commutative setting, so that the polynomials just become deformed, and then but all the rules of calculus stay the same. It's really nice. And then you can, of course, also write down the solution of the wave equation. If the time step is small, like the Planck time, then you would not notice that in any experiment. But it's nice for teaching purposes that you have immediately a fundamental theorem of calculus. I presented this all once in 20 times 20 seconds. All the calculus in one dimension, 1a, 1b, and even 21a. Even the multivariable calculus becomes very, very simple in that discrete setting. Another thing which you can try to do is to go into a nonlinear, replace quantum mechanics with a nonlinear quantum mechanics. And I worked on this also actually since my graduate school time with Toda, and then later I looked at this deformation of the Dirac matrix of the exterior derivative, which is a nice system, and it asymptotically becomes the wave equation. It also leads to expansion of space, which is kind of an inflationary expansion of space. And I also looked at the discrete time, so obsessed with the discrete time, so you can actually get discrete time here also, because we have explicit interpolation by just taking the QR decomposition. Very beautiful application of the QR decomposition, which originally has been done in a Toda framework, which I have adapted to this isospectral deformation of the Dirac matrix. And so you have a wave dynamics which is nonlinear but still behaves very, very nicely. So let me just make an experiment here. I move over to my computer, take the camera here. Okay, let's here I'm on my Linux computer, and here is this program xquantum. Let's see, it's a program I wrote in 2020, and you can compile it. And then you can run it, and I did that kind of with this double slit experiment, which is kind of nice. So you take a picture and then it evolves this. I made a little movie about that, and now I kind of can also take a pentagon. Let me just start with a pentagon. So let me just show that. So the wave starts at the center of the regular pentagon, and let's see what happens. What you see is that the evolution here for the wave and the evolution which you get by just following the geodesics, the billiard ball trajectories, is very much in sync, as, you know, for small times. This is of course much more accurate over long times, because here we discretize the space. Okay, that's it for today.